Welcome to r/meme reads. Today we're covering r/TrueOffMyChest, where OP gets a husband stitch without her consent. This next post is from No Echo 3280. My client was eaten by his own dog. So I work in the care industry, and I go into people's private homes to care for them. I get on morning shift for one of my clients and went there as normal for a 7 a.m. appointment. I was knocking on the door with no answer for 30 minutes, and then I called my office for advice as this person needed to be seen, and he had no key fob to get in as he was waiting for one to be installed. He was a male in his late 70s, and he lived with his dog and his wife, who was recently transmitted to hospice, and she was the one who usually let me in. The office told me to wait 30 more minutes as he might still be asleep. So I did that and carried on knocking with no answer. I called the office back and they had nobody else to call for help as he had no other family. So my office contacted the male's adult social services for advice. They told me to call emergency services and 15 minutes later they turned up. Then I entered the property with them only to find that the man had died in his armchair from a heart attack and his dog has eaten most of the man. This male did not need to receive care every single day as he was quite independent, so we only attended as adult social services, advised twice a week for 3.5-hour morning calls. The man has been dead for the past 3 days without anybody there to check on him, and I'm traumatized from what I've had to witness, and I think I'm going to quit my job. To be honest, OP, I don't even blame you. That sounds like a terrible situation to be a part of, and I'm so sorry you had to bear witness to that. I hope you find a different job, and I hope you find the help that you need to get past this. I'm so sorry you had to see that. This next post is from Deleted. After my wife kisses me goodbye every morning, I break down crying until I have to go to work. I'm a 45-year-old male, and I cheated on my wife who's 41. It changed her fundamentally. She's always been this bubbly and cheerful woman with her beautiful smile never leaving her face. She makes everything better and has the ability to make people happy wherever she goes. She's now distant, silent, and I haven't seen her smile since it happened a year ago. When we got back together after a small break, she told me that she was fully aware of our declining sex life and her role in that. She said that she didn't know if or when she could ever sleep with me again, and she said she couldn't handle the pressure of needing to heal fast to not lose me again, or for me not to cheat again, so she said that I could sleep with the other woman. She doesn't want to know when, and she doesn't want it in our home. I hate myself for what she's become, like a broken bird. Whenever I talk to her about divorce, her tears just start pouring, and she asks if I don't love her anymore, which I do, more than anything, but I just want to set her free, but her tears, I just can't. The only thing that hasn't changed is her kiss in the morning. She starts very early, and before leaving, she kisses me goodbye and whispers I love you. I pretend that I'm sleeping, and when I hear the door lock, I break down crying. I cry for a good hour before it's time for me to go to work too. I hate myself every day for what I've done to her. To be honest, OP, I have zero sympathy for you. You did this to yourself, and you did this to your wife. Like you said yourself, OP, you did this to her. You don't have anybody to blame but yourself, and you know that your actions have consequences, and now you have to deal with them. What were you expecting when you posted this on Reddit? Were you like, oh, maybe somebody will have some sympathy for me. Maybe somebody will make me feel better. Then, obviously, everybody gets on Reddit and dogs you, then you delete your account. Are you missing the part of your brain where actions have consequences? Like, did you not think that this was gonna happen? Just like when you cheated on your wife, you just think, oh, she's just gonna be okay with it. Oh, I'll get away with it. You're an idiot, OP. To be honest, OP, I feel sorry for your wife. Not only is she dating a cheater, but she's also dating an idiot who thinks actions don't have consequences. Get your shit together, OP. And next time you do anything, think about, how is this going to affect other people? Because obviously that thought process has never ran across your mind before.
This next post is by Competitivegggg. My husband got a husband stitch behind my back, and a year later, I can't get over it. For those of you who don't know, a husband stitch is an extra stitch done on the vagina after birth to make it tighter for the husband. I gave birth a year ago, and my husband, who was a surgeon at the hospital that I delivered at, was asked by his colleague, who was the OBGYN, if he wanted an extra stitch. My husband said yes because he thought it would make sex better for the both of us. I didn't notice as I was completely out of it, but I was in a lot of pain afterwards. And since this was my first kid, I wasn't sure if this was normal or not. I kept asking the nurses, who told me it might be because of the husband stitch. I asked her what that was, and she explained it to me. I thought at first that the doctor had just done it, and I wanted to report him, but then my husband said that he had agreed to it. I felt violated. This wasn't the first time that a man violated my body. I was a victim as a child. But this was the first time that it was done by someone that I loved. When I told him this, my husband was extremely angry. He said that he did it for the both of us, and that he didn't think that it was such a big deal, and that he didn't know that it would cause issues. I pointed out that he was a neurosurgeon, and he said that he wasn't an OBGYN. The fight got ugly. I screamed at him to get out, and in the end, I had to be sedated. I had the same reaction every time that he tried to see me. So, for the whole time that I was at the hospital, which was 3 weeks because of the slow recovery, I didn't see him. Now, my son has turned a year old, and things between us are non-existent. I only talk to him about our son. We sleep in different rooms, and I don't let him so much as kiss me. He is extremely remorseful, especially as he saw how it affected my recovery. He genuinely thought that it was okay, as the colleague presented it as, "It will make sex better." But why would a tighter vagina feel better for women? That only feels good for men. He has asked for couples therapy, which I have refused. I've taken up freelancing, so I'm making some money of my own, and my husband thinks that I'm doing that because I plan to leave him, since I was initially dependent on him. He's partly right. I don't see myself getting over this. I have no contact with my family, and I live in his country. I have no friends but his friends. No family but his. Everyone is on me to make things right. They say that he was wrong, but I can't hold this mistake over his head. My current country isn't exactly known for women's rights, and femicide is more common here than you might think. I am also on a spouse visa. I can't leave him until my son is at least old enough to remember me, because if I leave, there's a 90% chance that I will lose custody. What should I do in the meantime to make our relationship bearable? OP, I am so sorry that this happened to you, and you're taking the right steps in getting out of there. Please continue to stay strong. I have to agree with this comment by Hey What's Cooking down below. This is universally acknowledged to be FGM, female genital mutilation, and is illegal in 51 countries. It comes under Category 3 of infibulation and counts as narrowing of the vaginal opening. This has no medical benefit. Apparently, it feels tighter for men, but usually increases pain during sex for women because it's harder for the surgically altered tissue to stretch to accommodate a penis. Your husband didn't do this for the both of you. He did it for himself. He then lied about it until you threatened to report the doctor. At which point he was only honest with you to protect his friend, not because he felt guilty. It's even worse that he knows your history and still did it anyway. I work in ONG and this is not okay. You definitely need to report that doctor. How many other women is he violating?
This next post is from Guardian Specific 2058. My parents cut my sister a slice of my custom-made birthday cake the night before my party because she cried for it. I have an 11-year-old sister and she's the miracle golden child. She always gets whatever she wants. My parents are always trying to please her and make her happy. They have a big effort for her birthday and do whatever she asks for, but they can barely remember mine. And they're always conveniently broke. This year, I wanted to enjoy my birthday party, so I babysat and even mowed some lawns to make this possible. My birthday was today, but I'm throwing myself my first ever birthday party tomorrow. I've been planning this for weeks, and I invited all my friends. I brought food, snacks, drinks, and even picked up a custom-made cake yesterday with my own money. Today, when I got home, I noticed the cake was in the fridge and had a huge slice missing. I panicked and asked my dad, and he shrugged and nonchalantly said, "My sister was crying for it, and it's just a small piece. Your friends won't even notice." I yelled at him, asking why he would do something like that when it wasn't even brought with his money in the first place, and that my sister could have just waited till tomorrow. This made him angry. He went on a tirade about how disrespectful I am, and how I think I'm an adult because of my stupid party. I've now locked myself in my room, and I'm considering calling off the whole thing. I don't know if this is just me, and I may be overthinking it, but this seems borderline abusive. They have huge, extravagant birthday parties for your little sister every year, but whenever your birthday comes around, oh no, we can't do anything for it. Not even a cake, not even a little party, nothing. It's not like it's super expensive or anything. OP, I don't know what all goes on in your household, but I wouldn't be surprised if they treated you like this in other areas of your life, not just to do with birthdays. Either way, OP, I see this as a sign of more to come. They're just going to treat you even worse in the future. If you were smart, you'd gather some money and get the heck out of there. You don't need to be in this toxic family anymore. That was Meme Reads. If you enjoy this content, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.